This is Chelsea Schaefer, and this is Season 4 of The Score. You all have listened to this podcast 750,000 times, and we are here in Season 4 to bring you even more of what you love.
Hey all you team ropers, it is Caitlin Gustav here with an episode of The Short Score. Today on this episode we have the one and only roping.com coach Hunter Koch on The Short Score with me, talking about his big win with his partner and header Luke Brown from the Sheridan WYO Rodeo in obviously Sheridan, Wyoming. They were 9-2 on 2 head, and that paid $3,836 to each man. They also dipped into the first round. They tied for second with a 5-1, and they won the second round with a 4.1. So Hunter is on this episode today talking about pro rodeo, about those runs, about the horsepower he's on, about Luke Brown's horsepower, and about roping.com. He is a coach, and you can learn so much from him. So don't forget to subscribe to roping.com. This episode is brought to you by roping.com. So anyway, I'm going to let you listen to this episode with Hunter Koch. And you guys, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. Go ahead and tell us how you like it. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you want to hear from us? Tell us on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen to podcasts at. Scroll down and give us a rating and review. We do look at those constantly, and we love to hear your feedback. So please, please, please share with us what you want to see, what you want to hear from us. Anyway, here's Hunter Koch.
Hi, my name is Hunter Koch, and I'm a two-time NFR healer based out of Vernon, Texas. In my series of videos on roping.com, I cover what it takes to ride with great position and throw fast. Join roping.com using promo code Hunter15 today to learn from me, Trevor Brazil, Clay Cooper, Patrick Smith, and more. Visit roping.com today and use Hunter15 for 15% off. That's Hunter15 to get 15% off your membership.
Hey Hunter, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I guess you were up in Ogden this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
How did that go?
We were 5-4. I think we might have been 8th or 9th in the first round, and then drew a runner on the second one, and steer outran us. So now we're just headed to Nampa.
Gotcha. Well, you guys had a big weekend last weekend, adding over 8,000 to your earnings. How does that feel right now?
Oh, that was a good feeling. It came at a good time, and Luke's been heading really good, and we drew 2 really good steers and just tried to take advantage of them, and ended up going our way. And it was good timing, and I was happy with executed.
Yeah, so I guess, up until that point, until Sheridan, how has the season been going for you guys?
It's been a little rocky, honestly, which Luke is pretty good in the standings because of his second place win at the American.
Mm-hmm.
But I was pretty. I mean, I was okay, and then I was kind of felt like I was falling behind. I think I was 40th in the world, and then after the 4th of July, I think I was 34th or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like it was time to start making some moves, and we ended up drawing really good at Sheridan and made 2 good runs, and got to feel like I'm climbing the ladder now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're sitting 24th right now, and Luke's 8th. So, I mean, season's not over. Both you and Luke have a little bit of ways to go to make sure Luke stays in there and to get you up and into the top. What's the plan for the rest of the season?
I'm just going to see how many steers I can catch in a row by 2 feet. I don't really feel panicked because I'm roping with one of the greatest headers of all time, and I know he's always going to be clutch and do his job, and I don't really feel like I need to panic, but I think I just try to focus as hard as I can and just catch every steer that I have the opportunity to catch, and let the rest take care of itself. And it's all part of a plan, and just trust the Lord, do what I'm supposed to do, and do what I work at every day, and everything should take care of itself.
Definitely. And obviously we got to talk more about Sheridan. You guys tied for second in that first round at the 5-1, and then won the second round at the 4-1. And obviously won the average with the 9-2 on 2 head. Kind of tell me about that rodeo. Talk to me about those steers and how those runs felt.
Yeah, the steers were all pretty good. They were, for the most part, medium plus to medium steers. We knew our first steer was pretty good. He'd been to, I can't remember what rodeo he was at before Sheridan, but we knew our first steer was pretty good. And made a good run on him, was 5-1, and then the steer we had in the second round, I watched him go in the first round, and I knew he was the best steer in the herd by a long ways. Mm-hmm. So I went up there to the office right before they drew it, and I think his number was 84, and I was listening to him draw it and listening to him write the numbers down, and sure enough, when they called out me and Luke's name, we had 84, and I knew that steer was going to give us a good chance to win a lot of money, and he did.
Yeah, definitely. That must have been like a huge sigh of relief, I guess.
Yes.
Just hearing that.
I wasn't really nervous, but I just really wanted to execute and do my job right there, because you can draw great, but you still got to do your job, even though you did great.
Yeah.
So, but it was good. Luke did an amazing job. Drilled the barrier and turned him right out front, and I just had to catch.
Definitely. I know. I was going to say, both those runs you basically threw right on the corner, first shot you got. Was there anything that you could critique about those runs, or, anything that you were just super happy with?
Yeah, my horse, that horse I'm riding, he's amazing. I feel like he's one of the best two horses, and it's sure been a blessing to me, and he just sets that shot up for me, not 98% of the time. He gives me that throw, and he's forgiving, and he's easy, and it's nice, especially rodeoing for a living, when you don't have to worry about anything but throwing your rope, literally. Mm-hmm. And that's what that horse does for me. And I'm super blessed to have him, and those 2 runs is kind of what he does for me every time. Just pushes down the arena, and I kind of put him where I want, and then when he turns in, I just got to focus on catching.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like there.
Yeah, and I was about to just ask you about that horse too. Before you even brought him up, he's super cool. I love watching videos of that horse work. Kind of, what's his name and age? Kind of, where'd he come from? How'd you come across him?
His name's Garfield. He is a 10-year-old gelding that I bought from Caleb Driggers. Caleb Driggers bought him from, I can't remember who had him before. Madison Baumgartner had that horse, I think, before Caleb.
Okay.
And Caleb was going to heel and had some jackpots that winter, so he ended up buying that horse. Well, after the winter was kind of getting over, he wasn't going to be healing much anymore, so I just told him, I said, Caleb, I believe you have a chance to that horse when you decide to sell him. When he decided to sell him, he called me and helped me out. Big thanks to Caleb for giving me that horse, because, like I said, that horse is everything I have, I think, is because of that horse.
Gotcha. Yeah, obviously.
Rode him since 2019, my first time I made the finals, and rode him every year since.
Yeah, you guys are a phenomenal team. I do really enjoy watching you on that horse.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And let's talk about more on horsepower. What about that gray Luke's on? What do you kind of like about that horse?
That horse is really nice. He scores good, runs really hard, and the best part about that horse is how he handles the steer. He doesn't ever drop and duck. He might widen, mm-hmm. and which helps Luke head the horns. But even though he's widening, he never drops the shoulder and ducks and messes the steers up. The steers always handle like it feels like you're at a jackpot, even though you're being 4. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where that horse is incredible, is how he sets up the run and how he handles steers. And he does a great job of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. I know that horse, that's basically like kind of what I was even picturing just watching those runs. He does kind of leave there kind of wide, but it doesn't ever take away your shot.
No, never.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, we never got to talk about it, but, when you and Luke started together, let's kind of talk about your guys' partnership and, when runs aren't going good, are you guys staying positive? How is your guys' partnership?
Oh, absolutely. Luke's been a great partner. He's a very, very hard-working header. I don't think there's anybody or any header in the PRCA that can outwork that guy as far as practice and trying to get better every day. And I like being around that. And yeah, he's not a down type of guy. He's always, real positive. Even when things aren't going good, if I miss a couple or if he missed a couple, you never dread getting back to the trailer. It's always looking on to the next one. You're never really, down about what's happening. And which, just like most veterans, they know how to win, and there's a reason for it. It's mainly because of the attitude and how hard they work. So Luke's awesome to rope with.
Yeah, definitely. And, is there anything you guys work on as a whole as a team, like on your run?
We just been mainly working on, we haven't been roping for very long, so just finding better, most time we practice, we're just trying to make our run muscle memory. Luke wants to go at them, and I want to get to a good spot down the arena where I have a good throw every time. And just trying to make muscle memory to where we get in a groove and just basically get more reps together, as many reps as we can.
Yeah, definitely. And, we got to talk about it. This podcast is brought to you by roping.com, and you just so happen to be a coach for roping.com. Kind of, tell me about what you've been doing with roping.com.
Yeah, roping.com, it's been great. I like how people can, tell us, each person tells us their side of the story, and each person gets to tell us, what they feel like they're struggling with, and can critique every run, and they can send videos, and that's pretty cool to me to get to do that instead of us the pros just talking and to a mass group of people and hoping they can take whatever they need from it. We get to work with each and every individual person, critique each person's strengths and weaknesses, and that's the most valuable part to me, I think, of where people can capitalize on getting better by doing that.
Yeah, definitely. I know I tested out, the Power Ropers Facebook group myself and posted some runs, and I got, I think it was Jake to respond to me, and that was helpful. So I think people need to take advantage of it.
And it's also cool to, people get to talk to Clay O'Brien Cooper and Jake Barnes, legends that are amazing at what they do, and getting advice from the best. I think that's where it's really valuable. Yeah,
definitely. And, what else do you do? You do, right now you're doing those Facebook Lives, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So kind of
Facebook Lives, posting, just talking about, anything that might, we're working on right now, or things that we think something that's heavy on our mind that we think we need to, tell some people, and also posting videos of runs that we're making and letting people see what we're doing out here and how we're going about things.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's definitely something I think people should subscribe to it. So
yes, ma'am. I think it's a great learning tool.
Gotcha. Well, is there anything in your own roping that, people would love to hear what you're personally working on? Maybe people that aren't subscribed to roping.com, but they can hear from you right now. What's something you're personally working on?
I'm just trying to work on every day, trying to be as much of a focused, consistent healer as I can be. I'm trying to get to where I feel like I can throw the biggest, prettiest loop every time, and no matter what the steer does, I can put myself in a good spot and just try to get to where I can be as consistent and as high performance as I can be by focusing and doing everything right every time.
Gotcha. Well, Hunter, I am not going to hold you too much longer. Thank you for being on this podcast with me today.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you all for listening to this episode of The Short Score with Hunter Koch, and don't forget to subscribe to roping.com. Also, leave us a rating and review on the Score podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts at.